Hello guys, welcome to day 6 of the 30 days job challenge with Job Network Nigeria. I want to say a big well done and congratulations to everyone that has come this far. You are doing well, and I want to assure you that this is a huge step and progress in you landing your dream job. Now on to today's topic. We're treating interview prep and practice questions. We're going to be walking you through how to have a proper interview. Usually when interview comes to mind, we usually think of, okay, what exactly does interview entail? Interview is not just about proving yourself that you are qualified for a particular role, but it's more about proving that you are the most suitable fit or the best fit for the particular team, the culture, and the role of the company that you are applying to. So I'm going to be showing you or walking you through 3 tips to nail your interview to land you that dream job you desire. The first tip I will tell you is to understand the interview types. Now, interview comes in various types and shapes. For example, an interview could be a virtual interview, it could be a physical interview or a panel interview, and it could as well be a technical or case study interview. If it were to be a physical interview or a panel interview, this will tell you that, okay, you need to prepare for to be interviewed by multiple persons and how to answer questions based on multiple persons' perspective. Moving on to the next type of interview. If an interview was scheduled to be a virtual interview or an online interview, this will tell you that, okay, there are certain rules and regulations that should follow while conducting a virtual interview. For example, something as simple as having your camera turned on while you are being interviewed by the interviewer, and something as simple as well has been conducting your interview in a quiet and noiseless space. And you should also take into consideration other instructions or rules that might follow the interviewer while sending you the invitation to come online for the interview. The final type of interview, this would be a technical or case study interview. This could as well be a hands-on and practical test interview. This will come in the shape of an assessment or a practical test, like I said earlier, a practical test. For example, let me give the example of if you were to be an engineer and you wanted to apply for a particular position in a company or an organization, and you were given an opportunity to assemble a particular model of something, or maybe build a software, or basically something in that particular field or niche, then that would be categorized as a technical or a practical or case study interview. So understanding these interview types will help you know how to prep specifically to aid your success in these interviews. Moving on, the next tip that I will give you or I will share with you for your interview success would be practicing using the STAR method. So the STAR method is an acronym for situation, task, action, and result. I'm going to take that again. The STAR method is an acronym for situation. Situation in this sense means you setting a particular scene, like creating a scene or a scenario. Task would be the role you played in this particular scene, the role you played or you are to play. That's the role or the responsibility you are meant to take on in this particular scene you created or scenario you created. The A would be the action. That is the action that you took, the action, something you did in particular scene or scenario that you created. Then the R will be the result. That is the outcome from the action that proceeded from the action that you took. So I'm going to give an example of you using the STAR method to answer a question. For example, if you are to use the STAR method to answer a question, it will be in this case: I'm a customer care representative, right? This is just an example now. I'm a customer care representative, and there was an issue while trying to place an order, where a customer was trying to place an order in the company that I'm working with, and the customer calls, and then that is the scenario. Now I'm painting an image, I'm painting a scenario, a scene for you right now. So the customer calls, makes the complaint, then the task will be the role I am to play or the responsibility I'm meant to take on, which is trying to mitigate the action from escalating or from exploding into something huge, and the customer maybe not returning as the returning customer, or dropping asking for a refund or something like that, something along that line. So the A will be the action I'm supposed to take. The action in this case would be me apologizing, acknowledging the fault that is on our part, acknowledging and taking responsibility for it, then looking for a better way to mitigate her, to calm whoever the customer is, and to make sure that the matter doesn't escalate. That is the action that I'm taking. The result will be the customer being calm eventually and understanding that it was a mistake and mistakes happen, but then we are able to own up to our fault, make correction on it, and improve our services, and therefore we have a satisfied customer. Now that is me using the STAR approach. Then the third and final tip that I will leave with you for acing your interview would be prepping for common interview questions like, tell me about yourself, why do you want to work here, tell me about your strengths and your weaknesses, tell me about a problem that you solved. For example, in answering the question, tell me about yourself, this should involve you stating a short introduction that is professional and highlight at least 2 to 3 achievements that you have made in your previous role. For example, if I'm to answer the question, tell me about yourself, in an interview, I would answer this way. I'm a social media manager with over 3 years experience in helping brands build an online presence through content strategy, community management, and digital campaigns. What I find exciting about my job or my role, or what excites me about my role, is the fact that I'm able to create content that impacts values, like connects people and drives impact or impact values. And then you can also go for that to explain your achievements. This would be, in my previous role, I was able to generate over a 50% increase in followers and engagement within 4 to 6 months. Give a definite, make sure that you're giving actual metrics to show your to show measurable impact, to show that okay, you're not just stating these figures out of the air, but they're actually achievable and things that you've done, and they can be targeted, they can be pointed to, and they can be seen visibly. Then in answering the question of why do you want to work here, it would be as simple as you stating that understanding that you need to do a research of the particular company that you are interested in applying for, do a research of their core values, their mission, and try to incorporate it, include it into your answer. It will be in this format. I would love to work with XYZ company because of the core value of whatever the core value is. Insert it. If it is creativity, innovation, insert it, and how it fosters an environment that thrives on inclusivity, something like that. Do you understand? So include it. And I would love to contribute my skills to helping the company grow in that particular aspect. So something along that line, something along that way. Then in answering the question of what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths and your weaknesses, you answer in this format. My strength is adaptability. You mention a particular role that you played in your previous company or in whatever experience that you've had, and you portrayed the strength of adaptability, flexibility. It could be in this format. In my previous role, I had the opportunity to handle digital campaigns on short notice, and because of the flexibility of my nature or my skills or experience or expertise in of being adaptable, I was able to work under pressure and meet these demands before the due deadline. And if you want to talk about you can also add another strength. It could be communication. And once you do that as well, the same way you did for adaptability, you can talk about your weakness. And note that when you're pointing out your weakness, you don't just point out your weakness, but make sure that you call their attention to the fact that you know your weakness and you're actually working towards achieving it. So it will be in this format. I have a weakness in saying no when it comes to work task and work task basically. So I end up taking more than I'm supposed to, but I am handling the situation by learning how to implement task management tools into my workflow and getting more productive and having my focus zeroed in. Simple as that. Now, to wrap things up, I would like to point out to you that despite all of these preparations that we've mentioned earlier in the video, nerves might still fail you. You might become nervous, you might forget 1 or 2 things, and you always have to be confident. This is where confidence comes to play in. And how do you like get confident while preparing for your interview questions? I'm going to be sharing 3 tips to help you become confident while preparing for your interview sessions. So first, start your introduction strong. Start with a strong introduction. And how do you do that? Keep your introduction short, professional, and highlight 2 to 3 achievements. We mentioned that in the video, earlier on in the video. Secondly, you need to prepare to answer tough questions with control and honesty. Tough questions like, why is there an employment gap in your CV? You need to explain it, and make sure that in explaining it, you show that you were not just unemployed or just like blank without a measurable growth or achievement or productivity, level of productivity in your life during that employment gap. Do you understand? And finally, to put the icing on the cake, you need to close your interview powerfully. And how do you do that? When your interviewer asks you, do you have any question, you don't end with no, I'm fine. Always try to ask at least 1 or 2 questions before the close of the interview. Questions like, what does success look like in this role within the next 6 months? So questions like that. I hope this video has been very much helpful to you to answer your interview questions and to ace your interview to land you that dream job. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Bye for now.